Hello friends, they call me duct tape and welcome to my garage. Today we're going to be doing the rear drum brakes, replacing the springs, and doing maintenance and fluid change on the rear differential. If you're new to the channel and you haven't seen any of the other videos, let me give you a brief synopsis of what's going on. So here, I guess it's been about 2 months ago now, my wife signed us up for the 2024 30th anniversary Hot Rod Power Tour. Super, super excited to go. We've never gone on anything like that before. So it's kind of been something like bucket list item for me. Anyway, I had assumed that she was going to sign us up to drive the 89 Mustang GT that we have. It runs fine, everything's good. But she decided, in typical wife fashion, she knows exactly how to motivate me. She signed us up to drive our 1986 Buick Grand National. Now, we've had this car for about 22 years and it's never really been roadworthy. It's always had brake issues, always. And it's always run rough. Well, I'm pretty sure now that we figured out the running rough part. It had to do with the mass airflow sensor. The one that I had when I bought the car was bad, and the one that I bought to replace it was incorrect. All these years I never knew. Well, in video 1, I go through that whole thing and explain what happened. But like I said, we're gonna do rear end today, and we're gonna get that done, hopefully. It's been a nightmare finding parts. It's been a nightmare getting the wrong parts, but we do have some parts that have come in, thankfully. I need to get on it because at this point now, we're about 6 weeks away, and I would love to have a week or two to put 400-500 miles on it, just driving up and down the highway after work or whatever. You know, maybe take the wife out for some ice cream. I'm sure she'd appreciate that. And, you know, and just get it down, get it run through and all that. So we do have a lot of work to do still on this car, and I'm really, really crunched for time, but we're going to get it done because this baby is going to Kentucky, Tennessee, Ohio, back home again in good old Indiana on Friday on that tour. So it should be about a 1,000-mile round trip. And yeah, so let's get going. Thanks. Well, here we are, friends. Another Saturday, heading in, nice and early. Got to get that overtime. I think today, the overtime will probably be turn itself into a new radiator. Or maybe maybe some new tires. Well, not all of the new tires, but maybe 1 or 2. So we got to do what we got to do, friends. Here we go. Okay, friends, I'm going to get you in here, let you see what I'm looking at. So that's the back side of the cylinder. And it's probably close to impossible to show you the little hole I was using. See that little light spot right there? If you look in there, you can see that star wheel. Real close. All right. Friends, it did finally start snowing outside. A little hard to see at the camera, but that's supposed to be 4 inches by the time the day's done. Try to get you closer. Yeah, we'll see. All right. Okay, friends, here we go. That's off. That's off. Oh, sure, don't come off. No, heaven forbid, don't do that. And there you have it. Look at that nasty little thing. Like I said, the rubber is actually in good shape. Well, it's not ripped yet. You can kind of see. That's what your back brake cylinder looks like. So I'm going to clean this part up. Just, you know, where it's been sitting for 50 billion years. Get that cleaned up, a little rust protection behind it, and then we'll put the new one in. But you guys know me well enough to know Try to cover stuff up if I can. A little more. You know, I hate to use brake cleaner because I just clean that. Best part about owning an air compressor is forgetting that you have it, blowing on stuff and getting in your eyeballs all the time. Trust me when I tell you, friends, that is fun. Some more stinky stuff here. I don't think there's a marble in this can, which is weird. All right. A little bit of rust fix. We'll let that dry. We'll throw some black paint on it. And then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, friend, just for comparison's sakes, look at this old nasty, yucky thing. Look at this. Brand new hotness. Yes, not rusty. Ready to go. We're going to be putting that one back in here in a minute. There's the one for the other side, brand spanking newness. Look at there. You know, I've half thought about shooting some paint on that thing before I put it in. What do you guys think? Maybe that's a good idea? Okay, that's what we're gonna do. Maybe it won't be so rusty next time. Okay, friends, here we go with the pretty stuff. Once again, engine paint sticks to everything. And I wanna thank you, Jim and Fritz and Joe and John and Mikey for tuning in and, you know, actually paying attention. And Mike, I want to tell you I appreciate your comment. Yes, we are just trying to do what we can to save another American classic. These cars definitely deserve to be preserved. And don't worry, there'll only be the 5 or 6 of us that ever actually see this. And personally, I hope to never see it again. As far as I'm concerned, maybe my heirs can look at it next. I know my kids just love this car. Now, see if we can hit the back side here. Whoa, don't tear it up. In case you're wondering, I taped up the rubbers because you really don't want to get paint. I don't know if I'm even right, but it can't be wrong. You know, I mean, rubber is rubber. Well, I guess I could be wrong. It is early enough in the year to start the trend. I'm sure this isn't exactly what you guys tuned in to watch, but it's part of watching me. I try to be as preventative as possible. Oh yeah, that's really cold. That'll definitely stick. All right, well, we're gonna let this dry up, and I'm doing the clips too because just how rusty the other ones were. And this has probably a 3% chance of actually doing anything. But, I mean, if there's a 3% chance, let's take it, right? What do you think? Who knows, in a few years you might not even be able to buy these cylinders anymore. Why not take a shot at making them last as long as humanly possible? So, all right. Let that dry for a little bit and get back with you. Oh man, it's really snowing outside now. Look at it come down now. Man, that'll be accumulating in no time. Might have to get the tractor out later. See? Like brand new. Well, friends, I have updates. Went on ahead and took this passenger side apart. And just as I had feared, as you can tell by the parts, we've got a leak. So we're going to have to go on ahead and get some new brake shoes. I'm not going to mess around. The other side was fine, but this side's real nasty. See all that stuff on there? We're going to have to clean that up. And you can tell it's the brake cylinder, because if you look down there, I don't know if you guys can see, but the wheel seal is fine. It's just all this, and you can see right here where it's shooting out of here, you know, it's shooting out that side. You can see it's wet, you know, pretty gross. So yeah, it's a good thing we're changing those. Plus, when we get that new Power Master put in there, it's going to be shooting 800 psi with a brake fluid in there, and on an emergency brake type situation. And we definitely want to make sure that our cylinders are in good shape. So, all right. It's funny because I'm actually using brake cleaner to clean brakes. Don't worry, I have more. Folks, we're going to use a little rust fix here. that might have wanted a snow update. Holy cow. It is coming down big time. Sure glad I've got an inside job today. Man. I believe we'll probably have to get the tractor out later to clean the driveway. Okay, friends, this is what we're looking at. Old, new. Well, it looks like it's about an inch taller, which is about what I expected because the rear end of the car actually rakes back instead of the cool way up. So the back's actually down further than the front a little bit. So, and I've heard that these old springs get, you know, weak after a while. So we're gonna go ahead and put the new ones in after we finish the brakes. All right. Do it, friends, but I have to revert to the old spring compressor. We just need a little bit, but man, I don't want this thing collapsing on me. All right, we need pneumatics. Put it all together here. All right. The other side. I'm sure there's 3 of you out there going, there's an easier way, Steve. What are you doing? Well, Steve's doing it the way Steve knows. We only need 2 or 3 inches here. Come on, friend. With a guy. There you go. I'm going to try to be exact opposite of that one. Hopefully, friends, that'll be enough. Doggone thing, you just got to be in the way, don't you? Mr. Shock. So close. Come on, feller. Well, you know, doing this stuff alone makes it difficult. I should say more difficult than it needs to be. So the top's where it's supposed to be. I can't quite seem to get the bottom where it needs to be. Go losing parts there. Oh, we're just off by that little tiny bit. Well, let's see if I can't put some burritos on it here. Ow, those are really pokey. What do we have? Hold on, friends. See those? Very, very sharp. See that? Not so sharp. Come on, car, cooperate. Uh-oh. Friends, we might be getting somewhere. Cannot believe it took that much effort. Wow. What a deal. All right, I'm gonna make sure the top is where it's supposed to be, because I'm sure it won't be. You know how that goes. Of course, I'm sure with this side pushing down more, the other side is going to be even more difficult. Friends, I'm no mechanic and I'm definitely no pro. But that is right where it needs to be. Let me get you in here and show you. You guys see that? It's way up there. And it's a little cubby. So, here we go. Take them off and we'll be doing good. Okay, my friends. You can definitely see where that front seal's leaking. And the back seal is pretty much the same. So we've got new gasket, new seal for the front, and I even bought the right tool to put it in. This is called a differential. It allows one side to turn at a different speed than the other side. So when you make like a left turn, your right tire is moving on the outer axis. So your right tire is actually turning a little faster than your left tire. Okay, now if I turn this, you see these gears in here? See them moving? And you see the other side? If you could see it, I don't have drums on, but the other side is actually going in the opposite direction Okay, so what we're doing is this. That's why it's called a differential, because it differentiates between one side or the other. Now this car was one of few that was ordered with a standard differential, not a positive traction differential. In other words, if you slam on the gas pedal, you're going to burn out on that side only. Now one that has a positive differential will burn out, put power to both sides. But this one only puts power to, well, it puts power to both sides, but the one with the least amount of traction will start to spin, as opposed to a positive traction where both sides go at the same time no matter which side has less traction. So, but that's what this does. We're going to put the new pan on, cover on, or put the cover on with the new gasket and everything. And we're going to fill it up with new gear oil. So I don't know that it's ever been off in its life, but would you do me the honors, please, of handing that to me and the bolts? The nice people at home will understand if you can't hold 3 things at once, or maybe you can. I keep forgetting you're Nikki. You can do anything. So I'm gonna need some bolts there. Oh, thank you. Oh, we don't need that one. Just kidding.
There's all 11.
You're not funny.
Or 9.
Oh, you're really not funny now. I guess we'll start right here. It's as good a place as any. That little dimple goes down. But you see how this is humped over? It's for this main gear right here. I don't know the name of all the gears and all that other stuff. But I know that get a couple of them started around the world here. Around the world in 10 bolts. Yeah, yes. Those eagle-eye viewers at home will take care to notice that, yeah, I painted the back of the differential cover. Not the differential. Is there a reason for that? No. Just kind of the way it worked out today. Uh-oh. You always want to start your bolts by hand. So you don't accidentally cross-thread them, even though I know cross-threading is Mother Nature's Loctite. We try to avoid that if we can. You guys will take care to note that all 10 of these bolts were scrubbed and cleaned before putting anything back. Watching me put bolts in is probably as exciting as watching grass dry, or grow, but yeah, grass dry. Yeah. So friends, this is my 3rd attempt at a gasket. I got 2 of them, and both of them were wrong. This is over the span of 2 weeks. Finally took the cover off, took it to O'Reilly's, and said, I'm not leaving until I measure it up. So, luckily they come in this flat board with a clear top. And I made sure the 3rd one was right before I carried it home. All right. Hand me the camera there. Show our friends at home what all we've been up to. So we got both of the new springs in. The shocks are already newish. I mean, they haven't been used. Obviously the rear end cover. There's the other new spring. Shock. The brakes were a pain. I did go ahead and order new brake shoes because when I got to the passenger side over there, yeah, the cylinder was blown and it was a disgusting mess. So, and this is not just a regular car, this is Scoot. Scoot requires good stuff. So, bought some new brake pads and the drums. There's our new pads, new springs, newer springs. Everything's set there. This side here was just a mess. Well, we've got it all cleaned up, nice and new pads. Everything's good. Oh, I guess the light turned off. But, and I think I'm gonna order us some new drums because these drums are just, they're in rough shape. Well, they're 38 years old. We've already replaced almost everything else in the brakes. Why stop now? You know? So, that's what we went up to. And, you know, everything's looking pretty snappy. Hello friends, we're finishing up the brakes in the back finally. I did decide to go ahead and order some new drums. These are the ones that came out from the factory. They could probably be turned, but once again, 38-year-old brake parts. If it's available, get a new one. That's kind of where I'm at. So these are the ones I ordered. AC Delco. And it says 1995 on there, all rights reserved. I wonder if they're actually made in 95. I don't know. So, but these are similar. They are aluminum. So, you know, of course you had to pay a premium for that. But I like to kind of make sure that they're the right ones before I go cleaning them up and everything. One thing you can do, make sure you have the right bolt pattern. Stick them on top of each other like so. So there's that. Yep, that checks out good. Then we can get caliper out. Open this thing up. Tighten it up, bring it over here. It appears that our new one is the exact same size as the old one. So we should be good. Like I say, I just like to double check. You know, if these weren't the same size, then I'd put them back in the box and return them. But since they are the right size, we'll go ahead and clean it up. Now they're aluminum, so, I mean, but they still come with oil and stuff on them. So we'll clean them up real good. I'm not 100% sure about painting them. Since they are aluminum, you put paint on it and it slows down the ability to cool off. I think I'm just going to leave them the way they are. So, okay friends, we're going to go ahead and get these new drums put on. The way I like to do it, I get the new drum, and I get the old caliper. I take an inside measurement here. Tighten it up. And use the caliper to see where we are on the pads. Well, these are actually just a little bit too wide. So instead of taking them off and putting them on 1,000 times, still a little much. It gives us just a little dab of room. Some people like to hook them up to where they're actually rubbing the drums. I'm not really a big fan of that. But I like them to be super, super close. That may be about 1 millimeter. There you go. We'll call that one a job well done. All we have to do is, we still have to put gear oil in the differential. And when we install the Power Master, we have to bleed all the brakes. Then we're done with this part. So I'll get on the other side and get that done. Okay, friends, it's time to fill up this diff. We gotta clean it out so we get a tool in there. Figure out how to get the fluid in there. Wonder will it fit right here? We will see. Well, that'll get half of it. Well, that's a delightful noise. leaking out. And she's full. Good to try to get as much oil off of here as possible, because oil sit there and collect dirt. So let me give her a shot of clean here. Brake clean might not clean it up perfect, but it will dry it, which is kind of important here. So it's our big thing. We just don't want to collect a bunch of stuff. And I don't know where my rags went. Oh boy. Well, she's full. That should be that. Well, friends, we've reached the end of video 4. And truth being told, it's been close to a month to make this one. The reason is there's been a lot of parts that were wrong. I had to go to the parts store 3 different times for the differential gasket. And then I had to wait on rear drums, and it's just been... Waiting on parts is a nightmare, I gotta tell you that. And going to the store and getting parts is also a nightmare. Not only that gasket, but I've only been able to come up with 5 spark plugs. Yeah, 5. So we're still trying to track down 1 spark plug. Then I can do that. The Power Master is back. It looks awesome. But it's back, it's refreshed, it's clean, it's done, it's ready to go. New proportioning valve. With my luck with these lines, these brake lines, that's probably gonna be the case. But we are gonna put the new one on. Speaking of brake lines, I did get the new front end brake lines in. Those are gonna be ready to go. Let's see here, what else have we got? Oh, we got a brand new radiator. My radiator leaks. It's got little holes, 2 or 3 different places. So I just went ahead and bought a new one. Back to the Power Master. If you have one of these Power Masters in your vehicle, Turbo Regal, I think they came in some station wagons too, and you just don't understand it like I didn't. There's a book online by Richard Clark and John Norton called The Power Master. It says it right on there. So, and it really goes into just major intimate detail about every single little part of the Power Master itself. Go online and just look up Power Master book by Richard Clark and John Norton. But now I'll know everything I need to know about this thing for as long as I own it. So that's a good buy in my eyes. It's a good buy. Got a lot of little eBay doodads here that I haven't even opened the package yet, but I got a pretty good idea what's in there. I will be opening these. Also, just 2 days ago, I ordered 4 brand new tires. This one is shot. So my Grand National was one of the few that was ordered with a regular rear end, and most of them had limited slip differentials. Mine, I can do onesies all day long. And I'll tell you a story. When my kids were little, one of their favorite things to do was to go out and do burnouts. They love doing burnouts and scoot. So I would take them and do burnouts. And this tire here probably has an extra 100 or 200 miles on it from the rest of them, just because it was the one that took the most abuse. But the kids just loved it. They screamed and and all that stuff. So But that's where we're at. Got the tires coming, got the radiator, all the brake stuff. I'm not going to put the Power Master in yet because I still have to take out the exhaust manifold, the one that's cracked. Remember I showed you earlier in a different video. I have to take that out and I have to find someone to weld it. So, and I guess they're stainless steel and really thin. So it's going to be difficult for somebody to weld them. I got to find the right person for that job. But I'll get that done. And then I think in the next episode, we're going to get under the hood. It's time to, it's just time to do that. I'm going to finish up all the brakes, except for the Power Master until I'm done with all the other stuff. I'll put the Power Master in last. But that's where we're at. And I'm getting excited. We've only got about 6 more weeks now until this power tour. Oh, and I still have to do the bumper fillers. I forgot about the bumper fillers. Appreciate it. So you guys have yourself a wonderful day, and we will see you in the next episode. Thank you. And while I'm under here, I want to take a minute to thank 3 of my biggest little fans. Nathan, Bryce, and Tessa, you guys are awesome. Thanks for watching. Thank you for your support.